Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Unearth, issue number 1. Just a forewarning, this was not my cup of tea, but we're going to talk through the comic book after we talk about who made the comic book. So we got Cullen Bunn and Kyle Strahm are the storytellers. The art is done by Baldemar Rivas. Sorry I butchered your name. Letters are done by Crank with an exclamation point. Cover art by Baldemar Rivas again. Kyle Strahm does cover B. Cover B colors were done by Greg Smallwood. And yeah, this is an Image Comics thing. So someplace in Mexico, there's a place where there's this doctor who is puking up buckets of pink blood or something like that, and, you know, dripping and ew. And these doctors come to be like, hey, let me help you. Sometime later, you realize that an entire military engagement has moved into this area. And they're like, yeah, there are caves forming out of nowhere, but somehow there's thousands of years old stuff and man-made structures inside, which is really weird. I guess they're aliens? You know, you'd figure by the time that the completion of a first issue presents itself before us for our reading perusal and our wallet expenditures, you know, you'd figure that they'd actually have enough in the first issue that we would figure out what, in general at least, is going on. What is the topic at play here? But instead we just see these big body horror things, and we see these a little insect thing and a bunch of pirates who are living in a cave that apparently there's no real air in there, but somehow they can breathe. And there's military with a bunch of really sick freak people in charge of them, and a doctor who appears and disappears at will, and a kid who was only in the beginning as a tour guide, and apparently he got himself lost because we don't know where he is anymore. And this is just a really weird comic book, man. So by, I'd say, issue 3 or 5 or so, maybe this will be fully fleshed out and we'll actually understand what we're reading. But for right now, issue 1 really didn't tell us much. It was, I would guess, at best, an introduction to the world. But it doesn't tell us much about these characters. It doesn't give us any kind of motivation for these guys. None. There's no motivation, no reason for anybody to move on. I guess except for the idea that I'm a doctor and I have to move on. Nothing is explained. There's no backstory for these characters. No imaginary what do you call, recall for who these characters were. No idea who anybody is in here because everybody's expendable. Apparently there's not a single reason for us to care about any of these characters, any of them. Even the ones that seem like, you know, little boys who seem lost and afraid, they're not really afraid. They're actually a little freaking crazy for some reason. The time jumps around in the book, and it's hard to keep track of it all. And at the end, I feel like I'm, I don't know, a couple of years in the past reading something, and we're going to catch up with the present day. I don't know what the heck is going on in this book. It's really weird. The body horrors are a little offsetting to me to begin with, especially since there doesn't appear to be any direct reason for what's going on. So, I mean, is it radiation? Is it just people are bored and they got a body mod tattoo shop over here? Spiral's Body Shop right around the corner? I have no idea. I have no idea. And I literally have not enough desire from whatever inspired this comic book's creation to continue reading. Yeah, that's really mean, right? Sorry. I want to praise this book. I want to at least say it's okay. I mean, it's Cullen Bunn, for crying out loud. He usually does really amazing things. But for me, right now, I'm certain that the comic book will get better, but I seriously doubt that I'll be around until it does. Yeah. Anyway, guys, make of it what you will. If you liked the book, tell me why. If you didn't like the book, just agree. I don't know. Whatever. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.